I'm gonna keep this. I know we've got Archmage Storm, Counterspell Plains. We've got 4 Mystic Gates in the deck, and I do think that Esper Sentinel is this good, you know. I decided to keep 6. I'll force an Expedition map. Roll to 6, must be Tron, huh? +1 Moonveil Regent. That's the new 4-mana 4/4 flyer. Don't really like that card. I think it's Yawgmoth. Well, our hand sucks against Yawgmoth. Reason for the Snowlands? There's no reason not to play Snowlands. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for ruining everybody's fun. Is Rainbow Force actually good? I've been liking it, yeah. It's always gonna be an ebb and a flow, but there's like a big uptick in like control, big mana decks, some combo decks. In fact, I even feel like a big part of why Cascade decks have been as popular as they've been is because of the absence of Force of Negation. Obviously, Force of Negation isn't. It's not like an auto win against those decks, but it does help keep them in check. And just Force of Negation's been gone, so Rhino's is the only deck that plays it. It's pretty big deal. I was definitely hoping they didn't just have Yawgmoth. I was hoping they'd tutor it up with a spell. But I would say that we are very dead this game. Not this turn, but they're going to get to kill my creatures, draw a million cards, and then I'm just not out of the frying pan, not out of the fire. This matchup's probably not that bad, though. We've got a lot of Rest in Pieces. We have Sword of Feast and Famine. We've got a lot of exiling effects. I guess these prelates are pretty bad, though. Let's get those out of here. And then I can play Typhoons. I can play the Maul of the Skyclaves. Spreading Seas is probably fine, too. I guess these Sentinels are not good, either. I can maybe play, like, 1 Sentinel. 1 Sentinel, 3 Typhoons, 1 Flusterstorm, and I could play 1 Force. Flusterstorm's kind of better against Cord, though. Explosives for the dorks. Yeah, you can play 1 Explosives. But what makes Snowlands positive to play? People might think that you play Onthanize. People might think that you have Ice Fang in your deck. They might play around things. But it's also like this is not like a productive conversation, right? Because like once you understand like that, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter playing Snowlands or not. It's like not like a very productive conversation. Like and like once you understand it, you just don't need to keep asking. You know what I mean? Not that you didn't understand before or understood before, but just not a conversation we need to have every single day. Isn't Chalice in 1 strong versus Yogg decks? Is it? Maybe it is. We could maybe play Chalice. You have 12 1-mana creatures, but I'm not sure. Yeah, very flavorful. Cave of the Frost Dragon and Snowlands. That was the real reason all along. Yeah, I think I like Spreading Seas here. I don't know. It's at least pretty fun, huh? Maybe I'll Teferi bounce, or maybe I should. That's an interesting draw too. I think I just want to keep going on this mana denial plan. Prismatic Ending the Wall of Roots, play the Fountain tapped, pass. How's my day going? Pretty good, I'd say. They also like they might not have another land because they played the Peatland. Teferi bounce, Dryad Arbor. See what we draw. Could Solitude the Dryad Arbor. You go Rest in Peace, Stoneforge Mystic, just pass. All these lines seem pretty good. I think I like Rest in Peace, Stoneforge Mystic. Don't pitch the Teferi to exile the Arbor. I think we can sort of Feast and Famine here. Although Kaldra's maybe better against Grist? No, they just kill my Stoneforge if they have Kaldra. Force of Vigor, killing Spreading Seas and Rest in Peace. And they have Grist. Jeez. Okay, well, this was very good. Land would be good for us. Not a land. Could steal the Young Wolf. I think I just draw 2 here. I really need to hit a land so I can hard cast or play Rest in Peace, play Solitude and untap, play an Equip Feast and Famine. It's going to crack the Peatland end of turn off the Dryad Arbor. So I'm probably going to Solitude end of turn so I can hit them with the Sword of Feast and Famine. Then untap and go like Teferi Bounce plus Hold Up Charm if I draw a card. Or draw a land. I could also kill Grist, but I feel like I would want to wait a turn on killing Grist. Maybe I want to Solitude in combat here, though. Yeah, I think with them attacking with the Dryad Arbor, just a bit too juicy. To not exile the Strangaroo guys to block the Dryad Arbor. Yeah, a bit too free for the bean, perhaps. And they can't kill, again, they can't kill Solitude with Grist. And I think I Prismatic Ending the Hierarch here and just hold up Charm. I could also steal. Could also bounce the Hierarch. But then if they have a Chord of Calling off the top, it's kind of bad. Bouncing's also pretty good with the sort of Feast and Famine trigger, so I think I'll just do this. Welcome to the chat, Zmore. I think this card's pretty good in their deck. Outland Liberator. Sack it, destroy artifact enchantment. I think if it turns into a werewolf, you can attack, destroy artifacts, enchantments. Yeah, they've got a lot of artifact enchantment hate. Kind of a concern. I think I'm gonna play the third explosives over the first Sentinel. Manriki-Gusari is for hammer time, not really for the mirror. That was a pretty good game. Keepable hand. All of our lands that are untapped, and these 3 don't deal us damage at least. We get to go Ending, Mystic, Teferi. Pretty good curve. Probably still, we could maybe get Kaldra, I'm not sure. Kind of depends on what they play here, perhaps. Oof. Very good. Yeah, let's get the Kaldra, because they did show us a lot of ways to destroy artifacts and enchantments. And also just like, you know, hitting them for a lot is pretty relevant in this matchup too. Because they need their life total high for their deck to function. They have a pretty aggressive start. Should I leave Kaldra back on defense here? Or should I try to race? Why is life total high? Their combo involves paying a lot of life. Although, yeah, they need their life total to be like, they need life to like be able to draw a ton of cards and, you know, grind through. I think we can probably afford to attack here, but it's very close. We go to 10, and then we hit them again for another 10 down to 7. We bounce Messenger. Then we take 3 down to 7. And they play Messenger down to 5. Then we attack them again. They were not really in good shape. So yeah, I guess we'll play the Kaldra defense. Very close. We have 2 cards left. They can't be that good because we're pretty flooded. It's definitely the problem with this deck, right? You have a hard time, like, controlling mana screw, mana flood, which is the problem in a lot of decks, but definitely feeling it here. So they have Court of Calling because they cast oh, sorry. I assume they had Court of Calling because they cast the Young Wolf off the wall. I was wrong, though. So let's see what we draw. Another land. Another land. So it's kind of been all day today. I don't know. It just happens sometimes. Obviously, my opponent, they need to draw something. But this is like the 5th time we've had draws like this. We're only playing 22 lands. But also when you stream as much as me, you just have days like this, I guess. 22 lands, really? Yeah. I don't know. Just, you know, you stream a lot like me, you're just gonna have days like this. It's fine. Yeah. People have like asked me if I should be playing 24, 25. I think 22 is the right number. Okay, well, if they had a way to get Yawgmoth in play, they would just do it. So I think they're trying to figure out if they can, like, Alpha Strike a bit. Yeah, I just forgot to renew my premium. I mean, we're not dead this game. Oh, wait, Kaldra doesn't actually exile the creature. Ugh. I always forget. It gets to undie. It gets to undie. I totally forgot. Yeah, I agree. I think that seemed like what they were figuring out. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna slam Batterskull now. Would have been such a good draw last turn. And attack. Although this is bad if they have Force. Am I just dead if they have Force? Yeah, let's just wait. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. They kill my Batterskull token. But I get to block the Giraffe's Messenger, and then I get to equip Batterskull onto the Germ. Then I get to attack for 9. Pretty sure I attack them. Just try to kill. And then, like, they have to chump block next turn. The Grist is not really doing that much. Tense game. But we need to fade one more top deck. Need to fade one more top deck. Let's go! Alright. Dude, we were so freaking flooded that game. Very, very lucky. I'm not even convinced that's how Wizards... I'm not convinced that's how Wizards mint it to work, but that is how it works. Captain Walmart, thank you for the 2 months. I have a weird hand, but I think I'll keep. I might end up spreading seas like my own cape of the Frost Dragon if I draw a Counterspell. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe that's how the old Kaldra worked. Does anybody know? I'm not gonna read it. No CFP coverage. Here's the chance. I don't know why they're not doing coverage. It's kind of weird to me. Okay, now, well, guess we're not spreading seizing anything. Yeah, I don't know what the idea behind no coverage is. You know, I'm not in these board meetings, but I wish there was. That's how the sword works. Got it. Okay, so we're playing against Creativity. Alright, I guess we're doing this. Yeah, that fetch land being up turn 1 just put us a turn behind this whole time. Wonder how this matchup is. Come on. Yikes. Solitude should hit Planeswalkers too. Guess we prelate on 4. Solitude's kind of good in this matchup, right? Exiles Emrakul. Exiles Lorehold. Fair enough. Ren Ultimate is unfortunately very relevant here. I think I'm gonna maybe just ignore it for a turn. And Spreading Seas here. Hope to draw something relevant. What I believe is the S tier of the format. It's kind of complicated. Format's changing a lot right now. And the format is going to change a lot between now and November. It's, you know, Modern is a very, very fast changing format. So I wouldn't worry too much about what's good right now. And more so just try to figure out what decks you like, and then maybe once the Las Vegas thing happens, we can figure out what the best decks are in that environment. But it's just going to change. All right, so Solitude, Exile, Lorehold, my Kingdom for an Ephemerate, and then we need to draw Teferi, our other Solitude. Okay, not good enough. Weird matchup. Rest in Peace shuts off Rin. But they still have Rin in play. Can ping my Esper Sentinel. It's probably not something I want that badly. Flusterstorms are probably pretty good. Typhoons are probably pretty good. Prelates seem kind of mopey. Probably want Feast and Famine over Maul, the Skyclaves. I did like the Solitudes. Good, that's like 2 endings. Maybe I don't want Spreading Seas. Spreading Seas seems fine against them. Their mana is pretty gnarly. I think it shuts off Mountain count for their Dwarven Mine. EE to shut off tokens. Yeah, it's just not that good. It's just so easy for them to play around it, I found. Colin, thanks for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. Not sure how good or bad this matchup is. Hopefully this meta can get its place in turns before Lord of the Rings changes things. Yeah, when does that set come out? Is that the next set? The Lord of the Rings set? No, what's the next set then? Oh, there's another Innistrad, right? Actually staying on a plane for a little bit. Lord of the Rings is not until 2023? Oh, wow. It's a long time from now. I kind of felt like maybe it is already done, but it feels like it's been in the works for so long. I was kind of under the impression that it was already a completed set. Yeah, Tom Bombadil would be cool. Oh, I guess I should have Flusterstormed that. I really didn't realize they had something to do that could be Flusterstormed on turn 1. I forgot. Yeah, I'm really excited about. I think the Kamigawa set is the set I'm most excited for. I don't know why. It just seems so cool. Maybe it's. I guess it just is because I got so into Cyberpunk 2077. I really like that game. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm most excited for. Yeah, Umezawa's lightsaber. Hell yeah. I like drawing Charm. What's my build in Cyberpunk? I used pistols, and then I got such high level that I also had like just have like a full fist build too, so I could finish the like boxing quest line. But the like just the pistols felt so good to use in that game. Like I feel like a lot of the combat systems were fleshed out and felt really good, and a lot of them didn't. Yeah, I found Skippy. I did almost all the quest lines. I didn't do all of them. I did almost all of them though. I'm trying to think what like there are like some secret ones I never did. But I did every single little mark on the map. I really liked that game. Yeah, just not super functional on PlayStation 4 from what I understand, but it ran really well on my PC. Like I did 2 playthroughs. The first playthrough had bugs, but it was still manageable. I still really liked the game, to be honest. But the second playthrough was almost bug free. I think I had like one like small little glitch. I think we wait. Like I never wasted money on a game more so than Cyberpunk. Yeah, I mean obviously everybody has their own opinion on it. I really liked it. I also like. I wasn't following the game at all before its release. Like I didn't really know what it was about. I hadn't seen any of like the promotional material for it. I know that apparently there's like a lot of content that was supposed to be the game that's not in the game. I don't really have any comments on that, other than the fact that I had no expectations going in and I loved it, and like this could very well just be a lesson in, you know, having too high expectations. I think I need to ending a dwarf actually. How long did I been playing Magic? I started playing Magic in Return to Ravnica, and just like everybody else who got into Magic before Arena, I got into it because a friend of mine said, "Hey, this game is really fun. Would you like to play with me?" There's supposed to be a free DLC this year. There was a free DLC this year, right? It was a very small one though. It wasn't like a real DLC, just like skins and stuff. Which had you on Impulse? What do you think is the best control deck in Modern? Probably just blue-white Chalice. No Ragavan in this deck. This is just red in the deck for ending. Land would be nice, so we can just go end of turn Solitude. Draw land. Draw's been kind of rough this game. Impulse, you got a hat preference? Do you know anyone else aside from Hob and Dano that do God Run? Those are the really only ones I watch, but there's a few other ones. There's like Squillakilla. There's the God Run 2 has been completed by one person, and they're like a much smaller streamer. I don't even know their name. But it has been completed by only one player. It's like, it was a little controversial though, because, and I think that this is fine, I'll say, but this player would practice games in between the run, and then when he was streaming, they like that was like what he counted as the run, and he would practice in between, which is totally fine, I think, but you know, some people have found it to be a bit controversial. Otz doesn't do God Run 2, does he? But I mean, Otz is a legend, of course. He doesn't really play much Dark Souls anymore either. Loot, make a treasure. Yeah, Hades is really good. I've streamed some Hades. I used to play Hades in between rounds of tournaments on stream. I haven't played in a long time. I don't have it on this PC. I might be able to import my save from my old PC though. Sounds like it's the Spirited Run. Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. It's like all of these like challenge runs, they're all self-imposed challenges, right? So you just get to make the challenge whatever you want it to be. I don't think it diminishes the accomplishment. And then another thing with like the whole practicing thing, it's like other streamers who stream the God Run 2, like they could theoretically practice in between. Like it's a multi-day run, and so they're you know, they're not streaming themselves in between days. Theoretically, they could be doing it. I don't think that they do, but even if they did, it wouldn't matter. And it's just like that can't be a part of the rules of the run just because it's just so unenforceable because of how long the run is. All right. So don't have a lot of counter magic up here. Bouncing a dwarf token feels kind of anemic. I might just plus. Yeah, I'll plus, because then if they creativity, we can bounce Emrakul, exile Lorehold. Maybe I should have Flusterstormed that. I don't know, it's just so bad if they also have a counterspell, if that's bait somehow. Oh, don't cast Lorehold. I guess I have Solitude, but... Okay, so now I can't, now they're gonna get a Lorehold trigger. And if they attack my Teferi, I'm boned, I think? I guess I'm not boned if I draw a white card. Because I have a second Teferi. My life total's not that high either, though. Oh, Lorehold will not hit a spell because of Teferi. Yeah, that's right. So they kill the Teferi. I stay at 8 life. They forget to attack with their dwarves, which is nice. And then if we draw a white card, we can go bounce Emrakul, exile Lorehold with Solitude, and Hope. Hope is going to be a key part of this equation. I don't see another line, so I'm just going to do this. All in on the white card. I mean, I guess we could actually take a hit from the Velomachus. Yeah, they just put me to 1. And their Velomachus doesn't trigger. So I guess I'll just draw 2 cards. I could also steal a dwarf token and not go to 1. That could be better. Yeah, we could also just draw a white card to pitch. Yeah, I think that's the best of all the outcomes. Come on. So they put me to 2 life. Oh, they put me to dead. GG, yeah. Bummer. Draw was pretty awkward this match. It's been kind of awkward all day. I don't know. What'd you play Ragavan over? Probably Spreading Seas. Teferi, maybe. Teferi's really good, though. I don't know. I mean, it's not even like I felt like this deck has been bad. We've had like a very good record with it. It's just that, you know, some decks are way better at controlling Mana Screw, Mana Flood than others, and this definitely has felt like a deck that is particularly vulnerable. And I think that's probably just got to be fine. So either Teferi or Prelate is going to stop the bloom. I'll probably go for Teferi because it also let us bounce the Unlife here. No, we lost the last one. Yeah, especially playing cards like Spreading Seas that just like draw a card, and Sentinel that just draws cards. These are definitely the kinds of cards you can lose with. So we're probably going to. But if I Prelate on 2, yeah, let's just pass. Actually, my opponent might actually die if they go for Ad Nauseam or Spoils, because I can Prismatic Ending X equals 3 on the Unlife. He's just Ragavan over Sentinel. Sentinel's been amazing in the deck. It's also like the mana is a lot worse if you play red. It's really bad if you play red. It's maybe somewhat functional, but it's much worse. Prelate in 5. Well, we're just kind of. They also have the fastest Oracle combo. I think I just like passing here because we have the Teferi in play, so we just get to Prismatic Ending the Unlife and win. Although we don't get to Prismatic in the Unlife if they immediately go land Angel's Grace. But we shouldn't. We still probably win even in that outcome. Is Jace a bit too much? Yeah, I really like the mana curve stopping at 3. You have to play more lands if you play Jace, and Jace isn't even that good. But of course, we all want Jace to be great in this deck. Oh, I almost... That was close. Yeah, it's a pretty dumb card, absolutely. I usually like Sharks because of just instant speed threat. We're going down on Spreading Seas. Matchup seems pretty good. Oh yeah, sorry, I do want Chalice. Okay, we'll bring it in for game 3. Yeah, Chalice is definitely worth it here. Spreading Sea is better than Sword. I brought in the Sword. Yeah, I brought in the Sword. Don't hate this hand. Feast and Famine's pretty good in this matchup. This hand's kind of slow. What was the reason for main decking Prelate? Prelate's great in the main deck. Prelate's very good against the Dragon Rage Channel Value Index, very good against Hammer Time, very good against Cascade decks, very good against control decks, which is, it's fine against Tron. There's not really bad matchups for it. It's a great main deck card, but it's a hard card to main deck, if that makes sense, where it doesn't necessarily have many great homes, but this is a very good home for it where you're playing... Oh, that's a really good one. But this is a very good home for Sanctum Prelate, where you're playing Prismatic Ending and Sentinel as your 1-mana spells, which Prelate on 1 doesn't stop either of those two things. Getting ready for CB Vegas 225k. Well, maybe. I'm gonna go, but I don't. You know, it got announced yesterday, so I'm not sure exactly what my plans are. You know what I mean? And I choose Angel's Grace. It'll be a good time, I think. What did they exile? Oh, they're down to 10 life. They exiled 10 cards. Oh, we drew Force of Negations? Pretty good, huh? Shout out to old Esper Sentinel. So they need to have they need to have 2 Pact of Negations here. I think they probably have at least 1. Jeez. Boy. Alright. Bring these chalices. I keep this. Probably might play Chalice in 0, might play Chalice in 1. 61. Oops. They rolled a 5. I brought in EE instead of Chalice. Oh, I just brought in an EE on accident. Well, it's not a dead card. It's fine. No biggie. I'd like to be able to counter Pentad Prism. Chalice on 0 can be really good against them if I feel like I'm afraid of Pact of Negations. Which I kind of am. Yeah. Is it actually in Vegas or in Vegas? I don't really know the difference. I've never been. I didn't really play around Veil of Summer, I guess. Doesn't Chalice in 1 stop their combo? Not always. They can have Spoils of the Vault. Plus Oracle. Oh, sorry, they can have, sorry, the other one. Unlife plus Ad Naz. But Chalice in 1 definitely looked a lot better here, huh? Do not Veil of Summer me again. Yeah, I didn't mean to bring explosives. It was an accident. I think I just let that go. So whenever it's GP, metropolitan city, venue is 20 minutes outside of town. That's not... In my experience, GPs are usually... They're usually very central to the town. Like the GP Fort Worth, which, you know, it's my hometown. It's like right in downtown Fort Worth. Although they usually advertise it as GP Dallas, but it's just that it's Fort Worth, not Dallas, which is still a very big city. I feel like most GPs I've been to have been pretty downtown. Not every single one, but most of them. Yeah, very different places for sure. Too bad there's no English GPs, so I can't sleep in Stamp's bathtub. It's too bad. GP Richmond's always downtown Richmond. I'm trying to think which ones I've been to. Like which... I've been to... I think the first out-of-town GP I went to was Columbus, Ohio. I've been to not that many out-of-town GPs. Back when GPs were around, it was always very expensive and very difficult. I mean, it's still expensive, but you know, didn't make very much money. Really hard to spend extra money traveling to tournaments weekly. I played like every single one that was local, all the ones in Texas. But I think I maybe like flew to a GP for a weekend like 3 or 4 times ever. Shared a burrito with the Dive Down crew. Yeah, I remember that. That was fun. That was a good one. I'm really glad I went to that event. Obviously didn't realize it'd be the last one. Did you come to Phoenix? Yeah, I mean, that was one of them. I think I've been to Phoenix, Ohio. Not sure if I've been to Phoenix, Ohio. There's been more. I'm just trying to remember. I've been to Richmond, Virginia. Okay, they can't pack. They have to have Veil as their last card or another spoils. There has to be at least like one more. Was I in Memphis? I went to a PT. I went to PT Nashville, and I've been to a PT in Minneapolis. But they pay for your flights out there, so it's a bit different. I survived this winter. I hope I can survive this winter. Do you want ant paper? No. I'm honestly... I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good buy. It's probably responsible to try to save it for a house, but I would love to own it in paper again one day. Forest Conjurer's Bauble, huh? Carrot Cake, thanks for the 3 months. Yeah, should I buy a house one day, or should I buy a legacy deck? What do you think, Esther? Legacy deck? Okay. There's a show like that, right? There's a show. It's not legacy deck or house. It's a show. Either the show will pay for a wedding, or it'll pay for a house, right? And everybody on the show chooses wedding, or at least that's what I've heard. My mom was telling me about it. I don't know what it's called, but it's a reality show, and they'll like find you a nice house and plan a nice wedding, but the show will only pay for one. And everyone chooses wedding, and then you can't live in a wedding, is all I'm saying. Yeah, mortgage. Is it mortgage or marriage? That might be what it's... That's a good name for it, if that's not the actual name of the show. Phyrexia Drawnets are good investment. Yeah, it's great investment. I'm surprised you don't have them, Lockhart. Stuff to pay taxes on the house. Usually people can't afford that. Ah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Although, you gotta live somewhere, you know. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, that's an excellent point I hadn't considered. Tax reasons. Maybe I'll choose wedding after all, huh? Marriage or mortgage, if you're watching, I'll be on your show. I'll choose wedding. Yeah, I miss my legacy cards. I used to have miracles in paper. And that was really just... It was like a lot of scrounging and finding like insane deals on eBay for my forces and my dual lands and my Caracas. There was like, it was a long... I got some insane deals. I ended up selling the cards for like almost double what I paid for them too. Or maybe not almost double, more like plus 50% probably. But it was just like, there was a lot. It was a long time of just making sure I could get every bang for my buck. Any Zurin Orbers in the chat? This seems like a Fran deck. I don't know why this Conjurer's Bobble's here though. Yeah, they banned top. So I built Twin in paper finally after playing all these crappy Grixis control decks. They're playing eggs. They're playing eggs. I just realized they're playing eggs. That's awesome. Yeah, but after all this time of playing shitty Grixis control decks and Grixis Delver decks at F&M, I bought into Twin. LSV was talking about Grixis Twin on channelfireball.com. My hero, Louis Scott Vargas, and I was like, all right, I'm going to build Grixis Twin. I love Tassiger. This is so good. I played one F&M with Twin, and then the next F&M, I'm sitting there playtesting a game, and they announced that Twin is banned while I'm at F&M. War for 0, so they can get a Lotus. So I just counted this. They announced that it's banned, and I'm heartbroken, of course, just like everybody else in the whole world. But I don't let it detract me from my love of Magic, and I end up eventually, slowly and surely, after months and months, it probably took me close to a full year to like save and find good deals for this. I guess there's a Saga deck on the Spreading Seas. For the Legacy deck, I did get to play a GP Columbus at Legacy. I went 12-3. I lost to Brian Bronduin, knocked me out of top 8 contention. It was a really good match. He got very lucky. And then they banned top like 2 months later or something. Yeah. I was playing against Brian Bronduin. They were playing the Miracles Mirror, because obviously Miracles was just the best deck then. And we got in this insane counter war where I would have resolved Jace the Mind Sculptor if Brian's last cards weren't 4th copy of Force of Will, the 4th Force of Will. This was before Force of Negation, and a blue card. And it was, but even after all that happened, my hand was Ponder Brainstorm. We had the same amount of lands. My hand was Ponder Brainstorm, and Brian was empty-handed. So even though I lost that war, I was still feeling really good about my chances to win the game. And my Ponder Brainstorm saw literally all lands. It was absurd. I've never had that happen before. I've never had that happen again. It happened when I played against Brian Bronduin when I'm X2 at a GP. And I lost. Yeah, I can't believe you played Dredge at that tournament, Jeff. Oh, but man, it was a really good tournament. And in the last round of that tournament, I sat next to Paul Cheon, who I was a big Paul Cheon fan at the time, and I still am. But he had been streaming Ant all week, right? And his round 1 opponent goes turn 1 Cabal Therapy named Dark Ritual, and of course he had Dark Ritual in his hand, and he got. Maybe I should have played Stoneforge here, actually. They're not that likely to go off. But then I had like this really weird judge call where I was playing against like red-white taxes, not that that matters for the judge call, but I verbally said, okay, I'm gonna spin top and then draw a card in response to the trigger or something like that. got this coming down. Alright, just pass one more turn. I said one of the two things. I just did the opposite after 15 rounds of a paper tournament. I was pretty exhausted, and so I called a judge, and it was like a 15-minute judge call to try to figure out what to do, and it took there were like multiple judges working on the case. It took a long time to figure out that the solution was my opponent. It ended up being effectively nothing, but they chose a card from my hand to put on top, and then I drew a card off Sensei's Divining Top. And so effectively the only like mechanical change to the board state or whatever was that my opponent got to look at my hand. And I won I was like super ahead in the match too, but it was just the weirdest judge call ever. And I could hear one judge say to another, like after the call, like, wait, doesn't that just not do anything? And then like the judge who made the ruling is like looking down, is like just like very, very confused. Just like, because it just like literally was, I don't know, it was a really weird situation at the end of a long day, but it was just a funny moment. But then after the round, I was getting this crazy good barbecue and a place across the street, and then Paul Chion came up to me, and I was so starstruck, and he asked me how the judge call resolved, and I always thought that was really nice of Paul to ask me how the judge call went. I was very starstruck. I watch Paul like every day on Twitch. Yeah, we were playing against Eggs. Yeah, Paul does seem like a really nice guy. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Paul. Does he still play? He works for Wizards now, so he doesn't play anymore. He's ascended. But I stopped watching Twitch when Paul stopped streaming. It was a really sad day. Those cards, Stoneforge Sentinel. What does the opponent's deck do exactly? I don't know anymore. So like, Eggs used to be a deck before my time. Second Sunrise is a card. It's banned. Now they have Faith's Reward. The idea is that they sack all their board, their Lotus Blooms, their Stars, Conjurer's Bauble. They Ghost Quarter themselves, and then they cast Faith's Reward to return everything again, and they keep drawing a lot of cards, and then they go through their whole deck, and maybe they win with Thassa's Oracle. Your guess is as good as mine, to be honest. Alright, so they're probably getting another Bloom here. I think I don't Flusterstorm this. Does it work? They lost really hard game one. It didn't really look like their deck was working game one, but maybe. Maybe you guys can have some of that sweet, sweet hopium, huh? So we Flusterstorm, counter unless they pay 3. And then the second, oh, they have another land. I split one of them. SCG local events with Eggs once. That's awesome. Yeah, we beat 1 Veil of Summer. We don't beat 2. Woo! You gotta admire our opponent for trying, huh? You gotta admire our opponent for trying. Well, oh, so we're playing against Hammer Time, sorry. I saw the Luris, the Minmites, and I had a moment of confusion. Okay, I have Spreading Seas for Saga, but we might be... Yeah, it might just be dead. Play draw would have mattered a lot here. Get to bring in that Manriki-Gusari tech. I guess we could draw Solitude, so let's just draw Solitude. Gonna bring in the Manriki, gonna bring in these explosives. Get the Rest in Peace. I don't think I want Force. Probably want to trim a Counterspell. I like Prelate. I guess I could cut the Maul because I brought in Manriki though. Maybe I'll play one Force. Maybe I'll play one Shark. I don't really like Force. I could play Chalice. Yeah, Chalice seems fine. I could cut it Sentinel. Yeah, Chalice is pretty good. First time playing this matchup. Got a lot of hate. I feel like this matchup is probably okay. Did we die on turn 2? We got hit on turn 2, and then we didn't draw an answer to their guy. Couldn't find Solitude off the Spreading Seas. I think there's a better budget option than Sprite Dragon for Monkey and Blue Red Murktide. Maybe. I would play Sprite Dragon over Delver, but those are probably your best two choices. Yeah, my opponent's on an interesting brew. A deck built around Colossus Hammer. It's kind of cute. I would rank it about as powerful as the Eggs deck we just played against. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it just, obviously Blazing Shoal's banned and people want to emulate the power of Blazing Shoal. But it's just never going to be the same. Guess I'm going to pop Explosives in a turn on top Chalice. Why would you play Drum into the Explosives? I guess they just want me to crack the Explosives, but plays really badly into the Chalice. Heated Twitter debates this morning regarding Shoal versus Hammer. Hammer is way better than Shoal. So much better than Shoal. Why would you play E instead of Chalice? Well, on turn 1, I can't play Chalice on 1. I think we could play Chalice on 0 on turn 1. But I wanted to play Explosives on turn 1 for mana efficiency's sake, because I can't play Explosives on 1 for 1 mana until turn 3. So I wanted to play this to catch up a bit. Yeah, Shoal is still banned. This is something we talk about way too much on the channel. It's not a super helpful conversation, right? But the reality is there are a lot of cards on the Modern ban list that wouldn't be broken if they come off, but I don't want them unbanned anyways. It's like Blazing Shoal is worse than Hammer. Hypergenesis is worse than Glimpse of Tomorrow. But I don't think the Modern format gets better if you unban Blazing Shoal and unban Hypergenesis. And so I'm happier leaving those cards banned. But it is definitely true that there are cards on the Modern ban list that just would not be broken or even competitive probably if they were unbanned. So say what you want, but I'm glad Hammer Time is like, yeah, I'm not saying Hammer Time is a bad deck to exist. The power level of Modern is a lot higher now than it was when a lot of these cards were banned. And that's fine. I'm gonna let this resolve. And that's fine, but you just have to understand that that doesn't mean cards should be unbanned. I think Artifact lands are way too good with the printing of Thought Monitor specifically. Does it get worse? I don't get either, so it seems weird not to unban them. Yeah. I think the format gets worse if Hypergenesis and Blazing Shoal are legal. Those decks, I hate playing against them. I don't think most people enjoy playing against them. So I can crack Explosives. And crack Explosives to turn off Metalcraft. It's just gotta be better to counter the Paladin, though. The problem is I don't have a counterspell for Lurrus anymore. Yeah, people would try to play Blazing Shoal. They would try to play these decks. I don't think they'd be very competitive, but they would definitely try. Sorry. I don't think... Sorry. Embarrassing. At least I remember my trigger. I'm not cheating. Yeah, I mean, it's not like the Sentinel's really doing anything, but still embarrassing. What if Dark Dust got banned? Dark Dust would be too good. Dark Dust would be way too good. I think. It would at least be very, very strong. Yeah, we don't have... There's like... Dark Depths is a really good card in Legacy, where Wasteland is the most popular card in Legacy, or maybe... Or like a top 5 card in Legacy. And... Wait, they didn't play Luris? What the hell? Yeah, it's like Wasteland is one of the most popular cards in Legacy, and... And Dark Depths is still a very good deck in that format, you know? So they must have another Paladin. Or maybe they're trying to Luris Paladin. I'll take this hit. It's really bad if we crack the explosives and they play another Mystic. I will counter Luris if they cast it. I'll draw 2 if they don't, though. So I think I crack this so I can more safely play the good old Batterskull next turn. Kind of seems like one player's equipments are stronger than the others here. And it's definitely mine, because they come with germs attached. Could lose to Paladin here. Nope. 2 infects. Yeah, I feel like if they had Paladin, they would have played it last turn. Not a very good draw. What thoughts of Greenstone? Greenstone would be too good in the Titan deck, especially with Dryad Arbor legal. But even with Dryad Arbor not legal, Greenstone would be absurd in Titan. You'd play Dryad, you'd play one I could have Elvish Reclaimer, and then you play Dryad Arbor, or sorry, Dryad Arbor, Dryad of Legalistic Grove, Reclaimer, Azusa. It's just like too much. Just way too much. Okay, what if we ban Titan because it's stupid in ways? Titan's like as poorly positioned as it's ever been. You can't ban Titan right now. It's really silly. They're chump blocking. We have lethal next turn with the Hall. I guess they can make another. They can make a blocker or needle the Hall, or needle the Batterskull. Yeah, Greenstone is a really, really good card. Yeah, Greenstone Zenith is a really, really good card. It is a fun card though, and that's why people want it unbanned, because it's fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. Probably be better for them to equip, right, to gain life here. Than to yeah, they should have equipped rather than animate another Nexus. So I need to exile the Shadow Spear. Yeah, I remember the Chalice. This time I remember. So we even have a counterspell for Paladin, so we should be in pretty good shape here. Very close game. Animate? No, we need to kill this, otherwise. Oh, I guess, were they dead to this? Oh, Hall was lethal, yeah, sorry. Although the counterspell should, like, I don't think I can lose with this counterspell up, though. But yeah, this was lethal. Well, combining the equipments doesn't do anything, really, right? I guess it deals 1 more damage. Oh, yeah, they could have traded by animating a Nexus, but they missed it, too. They go to 2 with Hall, are you sure? Oh yeah, they just chump block the Hall, chat. Yeah, they just chump block the Hall. Never mind, you're right. Okay. Sometimes I can be convinced we have lethal too. So we just equip and hold up counterspell. We got there, you know, kicking and screaming and playing really bad the whole time, but we got there. Okay, game 3. Let's go. Love to draw a Solitude. Can't mulligan this though. Can't mulligan this. Been really liking Cave. It's a lot less powerful than Hall of the Storm Giants, but just that untapped white mana on one is so nice. Should be able to exile a Glacial Fortress to being on Solitude. Comes out, yeah, the Fortress of Solitude. It's pretty good. It's kind of a stretch, but pretty good. Can't turn through Trouble Cave. We have 4 Mystic Gates in the deck. Not too worried about it. That's the key, I think. Just don't really worry about it. Yes! Uh-oh. Do I Chalice here? I think I'm gonna get a little greedy. Like I don't think they have Hammer in their hand at the moment. I think I'll play this on 0 because we have Prelate to name 1. Alright. Well, definitely this line was very greedy, but it worked out, so how greedy was it really? I don't think I need to get Manriki. I'll just get the Kaldra. Do you think Sanctum Prelate has a nice hat? Doesn't look that practical, but you know, fashion often outweighs practicality. Oh, I'm sorry, chat. I don't know. I'm definitely playing all over the place today. Too distracted by the hat question. No 5-0s today. Definitely not playing like this. But I think we're 3-2, 4-1, playing for 4-1 here. Alright, 3 mana, -1 infect. Who's to say how bad or good that is? Knight, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, we're just trying to get into their head so they can be mad after we punt so bad and still win. They can play it again off Luris. They probably should. And they can't really attack into the cave either. What do you think of Vanishing Verse? I don't think Vanishing Verse is that good. It misses a lot of stuff. And also, like, 2 mana 1-for-1s are, like, not usually that good anyways. And Vanishing Verse is a 2 mana 1-for-1 that misses, like, a lot of stuff, so. Opponent says, not the Gusari disaster. It's funny. Equip on the Sentinel for a little bit of extra taxing. And I can only still attack with this, really. Although... Oh, whoops. I don't know what's going on, man. I haven't played this sloppy in a long time. I meant to click the other Germ, of course. Yeah, we're still winning by a lot, but boy, it's been sloppy the whole time. Okay, Seal of Cleansing is very good for them. They get to play it over and over again, but they let me draw a card. They kill the Batterskull? Yeah. They get to play it again, and then they kill the Chalice. Or did they kill the Sentinel? They kill the Manriki. They probably should just hold it. Can't kill Kaldra. Lurrus is so stupid. The card's so good. Alright, let's try to collect ourselves a bit. It might be good to move the Kaldra over. Yeah, this ends up being life neutral to this attack. I wasn't sure that they would block though. I also want to leave up caves to block the ink moths though. Why not attack with manlands? A cave blocks the ink moth nexus. That's maybe better to attack with the manlands though. Move Kaldra to the Prelate. We also don't get to cast the Esper Sentinel if we do that. We do need to start getting some damage in. Definitely a really difficult board state. These are definitely the board states I don't thrive on that often. Ones that I've never really seen before. And then the hull effectively deals 7 a turn. They do get hit with the nexuses here because we didn't leave up the caves. So we just steal Giver, right? Are we also leaving up Hull? Or Frost Giants? No, we're not. Still Giver after Lurrus protection? It doesn't really matter, right? Indestructible is a pretty good keyword. Yeah, if we just bounce the Giver, this game's so easy. I can't remember the last time I played a game so fast and loose, but can make excuses or just not. The future removal spell. I mean, they're committed to blocking and protectioning the whole time. Just doesn't matter. But they're in really bad shape here. No, Prelate doesn't stop creatures from not being cast. A lot of people think that Prelate is just 3 mana Chalice on whatever number you want. But it only stops non-creatures. Kaldra is indestructible. They should be dead next turn. They can Seal of Cleansing by Chalice, replay a 0 mana blocker, but this is gonna get them. Alright, I played that match horribly. Super sloppy. Didn't eat breakfast today. That could be the excuse I go with. Open a Steel Shaper's Gift. I think I'm gonna call the stream a little bit early. I did like this deck. I went 4-1-3-2, 4-1-4-1, which is what? 12, 15 and 5? Pretty good. It's a 75% win rate with just, blue-white Stoneblade. The list has been feeling pretty good. It doesn't feel like anything too special, but has felt totally reasonable. And I'll say that getting to play Prelate alongside Sentinel is just this really powerful, good 1-mana spell, which you can't do with Chalice. Feels really nice. And then tomorrow I'm going to be back for the Modern Showcase Challenge.